Hi everybody, Charles here. Welcome to Backroads Living. If you enjoy our videos, we would ask that you subscribe, that you hit that bell icon when it appears, and you'll be notified of our videos as we upload them in the future. Like the video. YouTube really likes that, and we do too. It helps us get more reach on YouTube when you interact with our videos in that way, and when you leave comments and such. We really appreciate that. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about basically the minimum wage, and we're curious as to what you think about it and why you feel about it the way you do. But we wanted to read this article here. It says that Democrats reveal a $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill containing $15 minimum wage, and as we know, which seems to have become a norm to have these $1 trillion relief bills ever since this took place back last spring. And there's many economists out there who feel like that as they continue to print money like this, it's just like there's just no ending to it. It's just print, and the more they print, then the less valuable the dollar becomes. It loses its value not only here in the United States, but it loses its value around the world. And this can only lead to more problems and more trouble here in the United States for the American dollar. But anyway, we wanted to look into this just for a second. It says House Democrats released their $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief proposal, which contains a controversial federally imposed $15 an hour minimum wage. And it says, in an attempt to bypass the necessity for Republican votes, Democrats are trying to push the bill through the budget reconciliation process. They're trying to get this pushed through without having to have the Republicans vote on it whatsoever. All Democrat senators would have to vote in favor of the bill. However, Senators Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kristen Sinema, of Arizona, have expressed objection to the minimum wage proposal. Senator Bernie Sanders also backed a Republican amendment blocking the raising of the federal minimum wage to $15. It was never my intention to increase the minimum wage to $15 immediately during the pandemic, Sanders said. The Congressional Budget Office released a report projecting that an estimated, here's the thing about this $15 minimum wage an hour. We've talked about this in the past, and this is something that we need to understand in the prepping community, and try to get an understanding of this, that just because you give raises in the economy doesn't mean it helps the economy. You have to look at this thing from all aspects. It says the Congressional Budget Office released a report projecting that an estimated million people would be lifted out of poverty with an increase in the minimum wage. Okay, they're saying 1 million people would be lifted out of poverty with the increase of that minimum wage, but the report also found that the change would result in 1.4 million loss of jobs. So how does that help when you help 1 million people, but you put 1.4 million people out of work in the process? It just doesn't make any sense, none whatsoever. It says the report also found that raising the minimum wage would increase the budget deficit by $54 billion and raise prices for goods and services. So here's the thing about it. Here's how these wage increases work. If I own a business and I have people employed under me, and I'm paying them $10 an hour, and I'm charging $5 for a product on the floor, and people coming in and they're buying this product and taking it home and feeding their families with it, and all of a sudden I'm forced to pay you $15 an hour to work for me, then that product on the floor went from $5 to $7.50 instantly. The cost of living just went up. And many of the people who work for me, because I'm a small business, I can't afford to give everybody a raise, so I have to lay half of my people off. Yep, there's a handful of people that are going to benefit a little bit from it. But the majority of people, those people who are out there purchasing the product, and those people who have had to be laid off and put on unemployment that they might or might not ever get, it's certainly not benefited them. So these are things that have to be kept in perspective as these things take place. But of course, our glorious rulers, overlords, they never take these things into account. But here's a comment right here I'd like to leave you with, and like I said, I'm curious about your thoughts about the minimum wage and what's going on. It says a $15 federal minimum wage would be devastating for our hardest hit small businesses at a time when they can least afford it, said Ernst on the Senate floor. We should not have a one-size-fits-all policy set by Washington politicians. We all support higher wages, but a $15 federal minimum wage would be counterproductive. Well, I personally agree with that. I think it would be counterproductive. I think it would cause a massive job loss. And again, we value your comments. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, to go ahead and subscribe now. Click that bell icon to be notified of our videos as we upload them. Like the video. That helps us with our reach on YouTube. So God bless you all, and don't forget to keep prepping and keep praying. We'll see you in the next video.